Yo guys, and welcome on in. The new Hunt 12/13 and Reforge patch just dropped a few hours ago, and I've been hard at work both grinding to find the best comp I can make, as well as gathering input and thoughts on the entire patch from both my community, other streamers, and even Reddit. So let's go ahead and break down this video into two parts, alright? In the first half, I'll go over the comp that's been working best for me so far, as well as a few other comps that I've seen people run with varying degrees of success, both on my Discord and other streams. And then after that, guys, let's talk about the state of the game and why I want to hear your feedback specifically. What I can do for you regarding that said feedback as well. So make sure you stay tuned until the very end of the video. Alright guys? Okay, let's get into the nitty gritty. Wyvern 13 talk. As you can see here, I'm running a DN, Luna, SSB, and Dizzy. A lot of people, thought Dizzy would be good here, so I immediately reached for her. She's been working pretty well. I started with Sierra Ren. No, excuse me. I started with Etika's Scepter, but then switched to Sierra Ren, and I think that's given me a little bit more success. Guys, did y'all see that at the top? There was a 50/50 Reforge Material drop. I think that's super rare. If anyone figures out kind of like the drop rate on that, please let me know. But guys, I know that these units I'm using here, a lot of people may not have. It's literally 4 limited units. Don't worry. I kind of wanted to make this video, just an initial thoughts, a quick guide if you somehow have these. I'm going to go over some other units you can use as well. And probably in the future, I'll come out with a more budget guide for units you can run. So stay tuned for that. Before I get into this specific comp though, keep in mind, guys, Hunt 13, a few things to note, right? One is you want to stack as many debuffs as possible, at least 2, so that the Wyvern will target your main tank. Other than that, something very important is that the Wyvern now has, I believe, 80% effect resist, meaning you want to shoot for 65% effectiveness now on, for me, it would be DN and Luna, as well as Dizzy. So before it used to be what, 55%? Now you want 65%. Make sure you don't forget that. I would say this comp here has about this is currently pre-recorded footage, but I think it ran about 10 times before it failed. I would say around 10 to 15% fail rate. There was a few that were kind of close. Maybe we'll see them here while we talk. But other units that you could run, I've seen people run. One thing very surprising is Terranor Guard and Alexa. I saw put in a lot of work. The third unit would need to be someone with a lot of debuffs. I've seen people run Karen. Karen seems like an all-star cigarette. Of course, people predicted she would be good. Guys, if anyone has the Torn Sleeve artifact, I think that's actually really insane. It puts a lot of debuffs, bleed specifically. I've heard on Reddit people running, who is it? Yuna, Furious. There's been a lot of comps out there, guys. Stay tuned. There's gonna be some. So far, basically, I haven't seen anyone run a one-shot because of the Wyvern's massive HP pool, and I haven't seen anyone run a 3-man with fodder yet. But I'm sure it's gonna happen here eventually. Maybe when the gear becomes all level 90. Other than that, guys, my Dizzy, I believe, is I have her at 250 speed. She doesn't need to be that much, but the Wyvern is actually so fast that I think I cut her down to 225 speed, and Wyvern still went first. So if you wanted to go first for that early, sometimes she'll line up a S3, in which case the Wyvern will hit DN, meaning it increases the success rate. So far, I don't think a lot of people will have 100% auto just yet. We'll see that probably pretty soon. Realistically, you kind of just want to limit the fail rate as much as possible. So as many debuffs as possible, and then as much effectiveness on your units. Remember, 65%. All right, guys. I'll have all the specific stats in the we'll put it in an Imager album, and I'll put that in the description, okay? All right, guys, after that, let's go ahead and get into, I guess, the thoughts and state of the current patch. All right. Let me give my quick thoughts on specifically Hunt 12 and 13. I actually think the difficulty is okay. I would consider myself an endgame player, and for a lot of people, this hunt will be pretty difficult. I've seen a lot of members in my community already say it's a little bit too difficult for them, especially if you don't have maybe Dizzy, the Torn Sleeve, Cigarette, something like that, right? That makes the debuffs much easier. That being said, guys, don't get too discouraged. I actually really think they did a good job on introducing the Hunt 12 and 13 together, because at least Hunt 12 you have as a stepping stone, a middle ground to work towards Hunt 13. I just like Hunt 13 now. It's going to give people a reason to theory craft, get the most effective runs, increase your gear. And it's just a good break from the mindless Wyvern 11 farming we've all been accustomed to, right? Now, that being said, guys, the overall thoughts of the patch, I think the entire player base is pretty, I would say, maybe not negative, but one of disappointment. The big things I've seen so far is that the loot table is muddied between new Reforge drops and crafting material. Here's one that I also kind of think is pretty annoying. 70 gear still drops in Hunt 13, which, now that I think a little bit more on it, I think we're at the point where it should just drop 85 gear, especially since we're going to be hunting for 85 gear to reforge into 90, right? A lot of people, I think, are also worried about the rate at which Reforge material is gathered. It may be a bit low at the moment, but as you saw on the run previously, guys, I got that 50 drop. So if that's not too rare, I think it might be all right. A few guys on my Discord are already upgrading some pieces to 90. That being said, if you're running maybe 11 and 12, I could see the rates being a bit low. But then again, this should be an endgame thing you shoot for, right? So I'll think more on that. We'll see how the rate is at acquiring the new Reforged material. So, with kind of a lot of players sort of disappointed, which is a little bit of a shame. This should have been like a super hype patch. We should have all been really excited, gung-ho about, you know, trying out new things here. And all I've seen so far is a little bit of negativity. So what can I do for you guys regarding that? Well, if you didn't know, I talk weekly with the North American Smilegate guys. We meet every Friday, and I forward feedback. We kind of talk about the state of the game. And believe it or not, they're they're incredibly receptive and eager at hearing our feedback, as well as pushing it forward to Smilegate Korea. Keep in mind, Stove also has a feedback section, I think, where you can leave your thoughts on this patch. But I encourage you to leave your feedback here as well. Just leave it as many places as possible. I can't promise that your feedback will lead to massive changes, but I can promise that at least it will be heard. Alright, so for you to get heard, please leave your any thoughts, critiques, feedback in the comment section on this video below. You can come by any one of my Twitch streams where I stream Monday to Sunday, and you can let me know there. But the best way, I think, guys, is if you join my Discord, and I actually have an official feedback section set up, and that's what I've been using to relay all of my community's thoughts on the current, you know, anything they think could be good or concerns, things like that. I forward that to the North American Smilegate guys. Just a quick rule of thumb when providing feedback. To get the best results, try and structure your comments by first identifying and stating the problem, and then propose what you may think is a better alternative or solution. So let me give a quick example, alright? Instead of Carr saying, Hunt 13 is hot garbage and now my day is completely ruined, instead I might say something like, actually, the loot tables for the new hunts are a bit underwhelming for their difficulty, and I think they should be adjusted to drop 85 only gear. Doesn't that sound a lot better? Alright guys, anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon in the next video. Peace out, y'all.